Hi, this is Dave Kale, and welcome to this Christian Business Insights podcast. I've been a Christian since I was 24 years old, and I've been in business that whole time as a professional speaker, author, and consultant. I've authored 13 books presented in 47 states and 11 countries, and have personally and contractually worked with over 500 different organizations. It's a lot of business involvement. And over that time, I've picked up some knowledge and some wisdom that the Lord has given to me, and now I'm sharing it with you. So you're going to hear some really practical things as well as some unconventional perspectives. Much of what you'll hear in this podcast, you will never hear repeated from the pulpit. So if you got an open mind and you want to build your business, this is the place. Everything I'm doing is designed to help you build businesses that excel in the field and impact the world for the kingdom. I hope you're educated, inspired, and motivated. Here we go. Hi, this is Dave Keel. I want to talk about some fears that sideline Christian business people in the culture wars. In the last 15 to 20 years, we've witnessed a major shift in our country. The culture has gone from a conservative Christian culture to a leftward tilt, which is becoming more and more intolerant of Christianity. The speed of this downward slide is increasing, it seems like almost daily, and at the same time, we've witnessed a reduction in the percentages of Christians in the population to the point at which Christians are no longer the majority of the population. Now, the change in the culture can no longer be viewed as something that merely occupies the talking heads and the cable channels with no real relevance to our own lives. Left-wing philosophies are taking hold in our school systems, from universities all the way down to the elementary level. And of course, Hollywood is awash with godless elites who are increasingly, it seems like, more verbal. And politicians today seem more out of touch and committed to godless agendas than at any time in the past. I can go on with examples, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. The downward slide of the culture is picking up speed, and it's touching our lives and our families. And while there are lots of factors that contribute to the downward spiral, I want to focus on just one in this podcast, and that is Christian business people remaining on the sidelines of the culture wars, unwilling to enter the fray. So what do the sidelines look like? Well, remaining on the sidelines means that the Christian business people persistently avoid embedding Christian practices and principles into their businesses, preferring to separate their Christian beliefs from their business practices. The thought process goes something like this. Christianity is what I do on Sunday. It revolves around the programs of the institutional church, while business is what I do during the week, and the two don't meet. That's the mindset, and of course, that's wrong. When we are operating in that kind of mindset, we find ourselves taking personal credit for some of the accomplishment in the business instead of giving credit to God. We find ourselves avoiding mentioning God or Christ in conversation, even if there's an obvious opportunity to do so, and we find ourselves avoiding our ethical positions, and we find ourselves allowing our ethical positions to slide a bit. The net impact is the world around us does not even recognize us as Christian. We are safely ensconced in the Christian closet, hesitant to venture out of that and identify ourselves as a Christ follower. Now, when we're viewed that way, impacting the culture for Christ is a proposition that seems so far away, it's practically unattainable. So, why do we sit on the sidelines? Well, it's one guy's opinion. I think fear is the motivating forces. Specifically, I see these four fears shackling Christian business people. Number one, fear of ridicule. Now, we've all seen the media consistently portray Christians as buffoons who are so out of touch that they have no sense of reality. Others portray Christians as intolerant and opinionated. These views are very common on the late-night talk shows, the social media, and the comments of cable station talking heads. We see these media comments and don't want to put ourselves up for ridicule, so we retreat into the Christian closet and allow this fear to keep us on the sidelines. That's number one. Number two, fear of discomfort. Some Christian business people have built a comfortable life. They're secure in their job or their business. They're successful. They enjoy the worldly rewards for that success. They may even be active in their church and enjoy some degree of respect for that. Life is pretty good for them, and they fear that what might happen to their comfortable situation if they were to more actively identify with Christ in the marketplace. Their contentment with their worldly attainments freezes their hold onto the status quo. In order to scratch the itch of desire for a more fulfilled life and greater kingdom impact, they dive into the programs of the local institutional church. And because they are active at church, they rationalize that activity into permission to be in the Christian closet at work. Afraid to rock the boat, they steer clear of any change that might impinge on their comfortable existence. Number 3, fear of negative business impact. What if their customers object? What if some of their employees complain? What if some of their vendors don't like it? The vague specter of some objection somewhere is enough to keep a number of business people in the Christian closet. They've worked hard to get where they're at, and they don't want to alienate someone who could impact the business's P&L statement. And number 4, fear of a shattered image. A lot of Christian business people enjoy the image of accomplishment and success that often accompanies a career in the marketplace. They have carefully cultivated an image of being confident, competent, and successful. And if they admitted to humility and brokenness, what would happen to their image? This protection of their image is motivation enough for some folks to keep their Christianity under wraps. Well, there's a common thread. Regardless of the specific nature of the fear, all these fears proceed from a common source, and that is pride. At some level, sometime consciously, but invariably subconsciously, the closeted Christian business person understands that to step out of the Christian closet and identify as a Christian in the marketplace puts him or her at risk for a step down. Whether it's fear of ridicule or financial loss or a crack in their image, the underlying issue is our wanting to protect ourselves in the place in life we feel we have attained. We're proud of that, and that pride freezes us into inaction. It's much safer, so much safer to stay in the Christian closet. Now, if you feel like this may apply to you, the remedy is pretty clear. Ask God to remove your pride and your fears. Be sensitive to Him providing you opportunities and events that answer that prayer, and then act on them. You may want to expose yourself to some biblical teaching on business and ministry. You can check out our biblical business course on the biblicalbusinessresourcecenter.com, or check out the Good Book on Business. That's a good starting point. You may also want to consider affiliating with a small group of Christian business people, helping one another through the struggle. I have come to realize that there are small groups of Christian business people in almost every city and town. And if you can't find one locally, consider our CBIG groups. These are groups of Christian business people who meet together via Zoom from points all over the continent. So the fears that keep you on the sideline, they took years to establish and harden. Getting rid of them is going to take some time and effort as well. Don't hesitate. The kingdom needs you. The culture is sliding downward rapidly. You need to step up. Okay? That's it.
Hi, it's Dave again. Just want to take a second to really encourage you, if you haven't already, to pick up a copy of The Good Book on Business. The Good Book on Business. You can get it at thegoodbookonbusiness.com or Amazon, or wherever books are sold. You can ask for The Good Book on Business. Why am I recommending it? Because there is a world of impact, impact for the kingdom that a Christian business is designed to have, that most Christian business people never ever come into contact with, and because they don't see what it is that God would like for their businesses, they don't pursue the Christian ministry section or part of their business. So this whole world of impact and opportunity for a Christian business never gets realized because people don't understand the power, the potential power of their business. Man, go get this book. It's 13 or 14 bucks, less than lunch. Go get the book and expose yourself to it, okay? All right. Bye bye.
We're done. Bye bye.